Welcome to UnCommie Goods. The pandemic of 2020 exposed America's reliance on Chinese-made goods. Not only were we short on critical life-saving equipment, much of it from China ended up being defective. We were caught with our face masks down. They played us. Why is America handing off production of critical goods to China, and what can we do about it? Here on UnCommie Goods, we expose the nefarious misdeeds of the Chinese government: prison labor, suppression of human rights, theft of intellectual property, imperialist actions towards other nations. The list goes on. Let's hit them where it hurts. Stop buying goods made in China. And it's not all doom and gloom over here. This show celebrates the makers of UnCommie Goods, the stuff made right here in America, maybe even in your own backyard. Meet the people behind small American businesses, learn the secrets of their success, and how buying American goods supports innovation, local communities, jobs, and economic opportunity. And I'll even crack a few jokes while we're at it. Let's make it in America. I'm your host, Lars. This is UnCommie Goods. Hey everybody, welcome to UnCommie Goods episode 27. Amazon.commie. All right, before I get started, and if you're watching on YouTube, you can see I'm wearing these sunglasses that look kind of cool. They're like a cool green color. And just a little quick story about them. I was in the East Bay in Alameda. It's a small little city near Oakland, attending some little antiques fair. This lovely young lady was going around asking us if we wanted to sign up for the local business, like shopping commerce site. She said, don't shop on Amazon, shop local here. And so, I said, sure, I like to support small businesses. That's my whole ethos. And one of the gifts was these sunglasses that I'm wearing right now, which you can see if you're watching on YouTube. And I just go, okay, didn't expect a gift. I just, was trying to learn more about small local businesses. And of course, I look at it and you can see here, made in China. So I thought it was a little bit ironic, like this little organization trying to support local businesses, giving away little trinkets from China. And yeah, I get it. They're not going to sit there and source glasses made in America and just to give them out for free for people to sign up. But it's amazing that how many cheap trinkets from China are landing on our shores on a daily basis. And they end up in my hands, and I didn't even want them, but I didn't want to push it back. No, I don't want this. But anyway, back to the show. So, hey, I'm really sorry, everybody. I haven't released a new episode in about a month. I started a new job about 2 months ago, and as I was getting ramped up, I was just learning new stuff. I was a little bit stressed out and busy, just started filing my taxes.
That's just the stress talking, man.
Anyway, I'm back. So let's go. So, article from TechCrunch.com about Amazon. Prime today, gone tomorrow. Chinese products get pulled from Amazon. Again, it's an article from TechCrunch. So this headline admittedly got me kind of excited, but I misread it, or maybe I hoped for the best. It did not mean that all Chinese-made goods had been taken off of Amazon. That would have been great, but of course that would have been like probably a good majority of Chinese. Amazon's product choice is probably Chinese, and it probably would have sent their shares tumbling and with tremendous bad press, right? Because everybody wants their stuff right away from Amazon. So according to Marketplace Pulse, they monitor and analyze e-commerce trends. According to Marketplace Pulse, quote, China-based sellers represented 75% of new sellers on Amazon in January, a significant increase from 47% the previous year, end quote. And how does this happen? Well, we get the pandemic. Everyone's home. Everyone's ordering stuff on Amazon, and these Chinese sellers are filling the void. So previously, I kind of concluded that there was about 45% or so of sellers on Amazon were from China, but I didn't really know how much of Chinese goods were sold. So, what is an Amazon seller? So simply put, if you make or want to sell something, or if you make and sell something, you can list it on Amazon. You can take advantage of all the eyeballs they get, and they handle all the ordering logistics for you, even packing and shipping. So you can have it two ways. You can do the packing and shipping and get like the orders from Amazon, and they take a cut, of course, or you can just send it all over to Amazon. They'll pack it and ship it for you. The one risk is they'll reverse engineer it and start selling Amazon originals or whatever it's called, like Amazon Choice stuff that's in their Amazon branded stuff that they'll send out in their name, and it looks exactly the same. So be careful of that. I have friends that want to sell, but they will never sell on Amazon. So, but another one, my previous podcast guest, James, who makes Spider Chalk, he's an Amazon seller, albeit he's an American one. So there's multiple ways to look at it. You can take advantage of Amazon as a marketplace, as a small American business, or you can go your own way. Nothing's wrong with either one. It depends on what you want to do. So yes, Chinese goods are only growing on Amazon. And I said earlier, people are ordering like crazy. I see FedEx, UPS, and the Amazon trucks out at all hours. In fact, the last few times, and I try not to buy something from Amazon, I'll get a delivery notification that says it will arrive as late as 10 p.m., like 2 days later. 10 p.m., I really feel for those delivery drivers. And a lot of times when something is supposed to be signed, they don't even do that anymore. I think they're just so busy. They're just like dropping stuff off. If it's in a secure area, they'll leave it, and I don't really blame them. So with all these new Chinese sellers selling on Amazon, it's not necessarily a free for all. Sure, they can list all they want and be as aggressive as they want, but they need to play by the rules, and they're always trying to skirt around Amazon's rules, and one of them is fake reviews. So there's a company, so Amazon, they kicked a bunch of Chinese resellers or sellers off the Amazon storefront stating, quote, "Longstanding policies to protect the integrity of our store, including product authenticity, genuine reviews, and products meeting expectations of our customers," end quote. That's what Amazon said. And you better believe it was fake reviews. So, quote, "One of the common tricks employed by Chinese resellers is manipulating reviews, which affect how a product is listed on Amazon. This can be done by paying real buyers to leave a positive review or sending fake orders and leaving good comments through zombie accounts," end quote. And yes, I've seen this. Like, I've purchased some crappy phone charging cables a while back, and I get a little card in there with an email address, and they ask me to review, and they'll send me a gift card. In fact, here's an example of one. They say, get your gift card, send in a review, email it to this guy here at email address is outlook.com. That's email domain. And yeah, they'll tell me I'll get $20 gift card and 10 if I add a video, and $5 for added pictures. So, and they got the dollar sign after the 5. You probably can't see it if on the video here. But anyway, that's how it works. And I see these things and I just I'm amused, and I go, why are they so desperate to get my positive review? I mean, everybody wants a positive review, but they really go the extra step. I've never seen an American product company do this. They just kind of ask for a positive review. They don't bribe you with it. So, of course, I say I throw it out, but I just kind of put it aside and never look at it again. And I feel shame and embarrassment that I bought a Chinese good at some point in the past. So here's how it works, right? So these Chinese Amazon vendors will email people like me, or people that email them in the review, and they start asking them to send reviews for other stuff. They say, if you buy this, we'll send you a gift card. So they're basically enticing people to buy stuff, fill out a review, and then they refund them back, right? So whoever makes a fake review will send a message to the Chinese Amazon seller, with a link to the Amazon profile and a link to their PayPal details, and of course a link to the review. And then once the Chinese Amazon seller confirms the review has been completed, the reviewer will receive a refund through PayPal. And in my case, they're bribing me with an Amazon gift card. And it makes the review look legitimate as to not arouse suspicion from Amazon moderators. So again, this was a little bit too shady for me. I love free stuff. Maybe I am a commie after all. I'm kidding. But I love free stuff, but not at the expense of my integrity. This item, I can't remember what it was pretty crappy, and it didn't work for more than 2 days. And since it was like $10-15, I just didn't even care. And so moved on, right? So that's how, through this process of enticing people to submit fake reviews, you see some sort of like $30, $40, $50 item made in China on Amazon. You go, wow, like all these people have bought this and give it 5-star reviews. I'm going to get it too. Social proof, right? And that's how you see all these inexpensive Chinese goods with thousands of reviews. And so, of course, this crap has been going on for years, right? And I'm sure Amazon maybe had their suspicions, but there was no hard proof. And it was discovered via a data breach from a server in China. And a lot of that data breach included PayPal addresses, Amazon IDs, Telegram numbers, messages, hey, here's, please, submit your review and we'll pay XYZ amount. And it had 13 million records and potentially implicating more than 200,000 people in unethical activities. So I say again, submit your fake review for a shoddy made Chinese good at your own peril. Don't say UnCommie Goods didn't warn you. And according to Marketplace Pulse, that was quoted in this article from TechCrunch, one of the themes is these Chinese factories who made stuff for Walmart and the likes for the past 20 years now realize they have a shot at building a brand themselves and selling directly to the world without the intermediary. And we are that vehicle, wrote Sebastian Cunningham, Senior Vice President of Amazon Marketplace at the time, in an internal email from 2015 released by the House Judiciary Committee, end quote. So, yeah, these Chinese brands, they used to just make and ship it to the retailer, and then the retailer would sell it. And now I think these Chinese brands or factories can get a little bit higher profit margin if they only go through Amazon and give them a smaller cut than they would if they were wholesaling. So kudos to Amazon for cracking down on these nefarious fake practices, fake reviews practice. And, according to the TechCrunch article, quote, in recent years, Amazon has been nudging more sellers to join and be good brands. Merchants now need to meet strict requirements for brand registry, safety testing, and insurance liability. It's getting more difficult and costly to run a business on Amazon. End quote. That was from a gentleman, I forgot his name, in the TechCrunch article, who was like a toy exporter for many years in China, and he knows kind of what's going on back there. He probably knows where all the bodies are buried. So again, it's a small step. I'll give Amazon a thumbs up for trying. I can't help it. They're doing the right thing in this case. And now how can you avoid buying stuff made from Chinese-made sellers on Amazon? Well, it's very easy. I just discovered this from a friend of mine or a listener who submitted this to me. It's a Chrome extension called wecultivate.us, or just Cultivate. So go to wecultivate.us and download the Cultivate Chrome extension. And you can see here, every time you browse on a product on Amazon, it will tell you where the seller is from right under the product name. And then you can see the Cultivate logo to the right. So you pull up a webcam, it'll say, this seller is from China. And sometimes it even says what area of China. And then you'll see the little Cultivate logo, which is like a figure 8. And if you're watching on YouTube, you can see it displayed right now. And on my website, I'll have it linked to my show notes on my website at uncommigoods.com, episode 27. And as you know, I like to end each episode with an UnCommie Good, highlighting an American-made product that, hopefully I prefer a small business, a local, community-based type of company that is like family-run or run by like a sole proprietor. But in this time, a listener named Miko suggested a book for me to read, and it's called Socialism Sucks. And when I think about UnCommie Goods and what's really important for this mission I have to promote American-made goods, it's not that I don't like China because, they're Chinese or their culture is different than American. It's because the government is a Marxist, Leninist regime, totalitarian, and there's no room for dissent or opposing opinions. They imprison people if they disagree or don't step in line or toe the line or whatever the expression is. And they're a basic affront to human nature and decency. If you can't oppose your leaders, via an op-ed in the newspaper or a march, then you're not living free as meant to be. And ultimately also, and I don't know how China does it, but I know they manipulate their currency and they actually engage in a lot of free market practices, yet they lock down the individual liberties of their citizens. So I have a problem with that. So socialism is kind of becoming a little bit more in vogue. All these young people are excited about socialism because it makes everybody equal. And this book is really a great way to help understand anyone in your life that needs to know the perils and dangers of socialism. So this one has a different take. It's a little more irreverent and fun, yet with a lot of hard-hitting facts. So these two guys go travel to various areas around the world and look at the effects of socialism and how it's impacted the economies where things have been good and they've gone to horrific in a short matter of time once socialist tendencies or principles or laws or whatever have been enacted. So, like, for example, they started off in Venezuela and they hung out like at the Venezuelan Colombian border, and they could just see the levels of prosperity from one side of the bridge to the other. And that bridge was a main thoroughfare where Venezuelans would come into Colombia and try and buy goods and bring them back, right? So they were just buying like very basics like shampoo, soap, sugar, flour, other foodstuffs, right? And they would bring them back. So because Venezuela is so impoverished, and they're literally bringing suitcases full of cash because their Venezuelan currency has been so hyperinflated. At the same time, once they bring that back over the border into Venezuela, they've got to worry about bandits that are just going to rob them. So the people that are not willing to spend their money and go in and go through the trouble of buying stuff, they'll just rob other people. At the same time, I learned that Venezuela many years ago was one of the most economically prosperous countries, was the most economically prosperous country in South America. And it's just a real shame because once they had tremendous natural resources, a well-educated populace, and they had a great GDP. In fact, they were rated, I think, like a 70 on the economic freedom or economic success label or chart from one of these guys in the books. And now it's like a 3. So they hit the rock bottom. People are starving. There's very little economic progress or opportunity or jobs for anybody in Venezuela. And that happened not because of lack of resources or lack of people wanting to work or the economy going bad. It came straight from the top, from the government. These socialist policies really destroyed a once thriving country, and it's actually a real crying shame. And not to make light of it, but there was even 6 months of no beer being produced in Venezuela. And so these guys are going around, drink. You can see on the cover here, they're going around drinking beers and examining the effects of socialism. And another one example, they went to Cuba, and all the official hotels were just dismal, right? Like the towels had holes in them. There was grime, like in the bathtub, mold. The shower curtains were missing. The windows might have been broken. In fact, they went to one hotel where most of the windows on the top floors were broken. Like nobody was taking care of them. And then to contrast that, in Cuba, they've allowed people to rent out rooms in their houses, or they call them casas particulares. And so people could rent out these houses on their own and charge what they wanted. And these authors compared the experiences of the hotels to these casas particulares, and these casas particulares were great. They weren't, I wouldn't say they were luxurious, but they were just delightful to stay in. And they were very comfortable, and they were never grossed out by the condition of the room. And that goes to point out that competition, because these casas particulares are competing for business, whereas these hotels, they get paid, the employees get paid the same no matter what. If they hustle or if they slack off, they still get paid. Whereas these people that own the casas particulares, they get paid more. The better their establishment is, and the more comfortable, and the better reviews, and people know about it. So that is the principle of the free market, which is better for humankind. And if anybody tells you that socialism works, it has failed 100% of the time. And that's why this is called UnCommie Goods, because I am fighting against any communist countries, communist ideals, or anything made in communist countries that would support their economic growth, which is just not going to happen, actually. So, but again, China is promoting a Marxist-Leninist ideology. I can't have that, so it's UnCommie Goods. If China was an economically liberated country and they didn't engage in nefarious practices and they didn't enslave Uyghurs, I'd say, hey, maybe China makes good stuff. Go buy some, but not now, not today, not anytime soon. So I kind of ranted off there. I got to say, though, this book, Socialism Sucks, is a great book. So this book is awesome. So a book with the title Sucks on it is actually awesome. So this is my UnCommie Good of the week, the book, Socialism Sucks. I'm going to link to it and ask a favor of you. Don't go to Amazon to buy this, even though Amazon's doing kind of cool stuff with their, kicking off Chinese retailers that are selling with fake reviews and stuff and skirting the rules. But buy it off indiebound.org. It's an independent, it's a network of independent booksellers in the U.S. And you can just order through there. It's almost as easy as ordering from Amazon. Just, maybe a couple more clicks, but just do it for supporting a small business. And it ties in to a local bookstore, so you don't have to really worry about like where you're going to get it. You can even, what I like to do, I like to order the book and order it for pickup, and then you can get to pop into an old school bookstore, the old school bookstore experience, and just say hi to the people there. They're always kind of happy, and it's like the cool bookstore kind of people. They might be a little bit quirky, and it's part of supporting a small business. You get to know the individuals. And so again, Socialism Sucks. I'm going to link to it in my show notes, indiebound.org, and I'll maybe even give you an Amazon link if you're not too excited to try something new. But first, go for IndieBound. Again, there goes my book. Again, this was UnCommie Goods, episode 27. Amazon.commie. Thanks for listening. I really appreciate it. Go check out the Apple Podcast app. Give it a 5-star rating and write a little review on why you like the show. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit a thumbs up. Comment on it. I'm always checking out comments. Doing YouTube is a little bit new for me because the audio medium is a little bit easier because you don't have to look at yourself, and a little less self-conscious. But at the same time, I want to put out this message to as many channels as possible. I'm also on Instagram, uncommigoods.com, or it's Instagram at uncommigoods, and Twitter at uncommigoods. Link to it in the show notes, as well as my website, just UnCommie Good. So please subscribe on whatever medium you're listening or watching on. Hit like, comment, and you can always reach me at hello@uncommigoods. Again, thank you